Danger man for a bargain. Welcome back to Big Steve Cool 1872. And of course, alright, we've got some big news here. Big changes with the 49ers in place and no real surprises, but yeah, Koppen's away and a man by the name of Dan Purdy, alright, he's replacing Koppen as Rangers technical director. And I mean, that's the headline today on this no bad Sunday. You know, a bit rainy here, but I digress. You know, nice Sunday, watching the F1, chilling. No football on for a long time. What a Champions League final it was last night. Shout out to everybody who was, well, I say I wasn't watching a lot. I went live like the last 15 minutes to go, and I ended up doing an hour. So everybody that sent super chats, commented, you know the score, appreciate it very much. So, and yeah, across this summer there'll be more streams and all that good stuff. Loads of feds talking about signings, managers. You know what? Before we can get into this, managers, right? David Angelotti still 8 to 11, and what do you call him? The guy that could be our next Rangers manager, Russell Martin, 11 to 10. I mean, of course, none of us really want Russell Martin, but as much as, you know, I think most of us are beginning to think that it's Angelotti or hee-haw. Yeah, I think we need to be open to the fact that it might be Russell Martin. So, yeah, it's a sad reality. Like, I mean, I think all the optimism comes crashing down with Russell Martin. I mean, I'm beginning to see a few more comments, not really in favour of Russell Martin, but people saying, "Oh, it's not the catastrophe that people are making it out to be." And you know what? I can kind of agree. I mean, I can kind of agree, but at the same time, I'd be lying to turn around and say that I haven't been bashing Russell Martin for like the past month. Of course I have. But anyway, that's the latest odds. I feel like I've been every fit I've done across the board. I've talked about the odds for David Angelotti and what do you call him? Russell Martin, that guy. Anyway, it's time to talk about Koppen. He's out the door, right? Koppen will be at the door, and Dan Purdy will replace him. So we'll dive into the BBC Sport article once I get across this road. So, Rangers' new American owners are continuing the reconstruction of the club by appointing Everton's former head of recruitment, Dan Purdy, as technical director to replace Koppen. Last week, a US-based consortium, including the investment arm of the San Francisco 49ers, completed a multi-million-pound takeover of Rangers. New sporting director Big Kev officially begins his role on Monday, and the club have moved to bring in Purdy to work alongside him, as they did at Everton. Again, I think it's good in a way to bring in two guys that were at Everton and work together, because there's already a wee bit of unison there. So I think that's a smart move. I mean, again, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, oh, I know everything that they've done at Everton, but Everton have been mismanaged, man, for a very long time. But I feel like with those two, they didn't do as bad as previous before them, which, I mean, would have been hard, but they tried to steady the ship in the right direction. So there's that. Koppen, though, he was obviously previously head of scouting for PSV. He did join as director of football in January 2024 before the Belgian stepped up to become technical director 10 months later. And as we all pointed out, why is Rangers Football Club essentially rewarding failure? The guy's not done anything to warrant that. Now the new club's owners have decided to move in a different direction. Though Koppen will assist Big Kev with the transition into his new role, the Ibrox club are expected to appoint a new head coach soon. Angelotti or Russell Martin. Andrew Kavanagh will be confirmed as the new club's chairman at the annual meeting at the end of June. His vice chair will be the current chairman of Leeds United, Parag Maravi, and Patrick Stewart will continue as chief executive. Again, even if Koppen did a decent job, I still think there's a high chance he'd have been at the door. That's kind of how these things work, but he's not really done a decent job. Again, not all bad. A lot of getting rid of players was poor, and also just the recruitment. Yeah, I mean, and you know what? I've actually defended Jeff in the last couple of weeks, but I've seen someone say on Twitter, it's like our fans cuddle and wrap Jeff in bubble wrap, and he's 21, but there's 17, 18, 19-year-olds tearing up Europe, winning Champions Leagues, and it's like, you know what? Actually, not that I'm throwing Jeff completely to the side, but we need to have more faith in youth. And I get it, right? We're not going to have the quality of youth players at Barcelona or PSG. But on the flip side of that, we'll never know if we don't give them games. You know what I mean? That's the problem. You need to give them exposure and games, man. And it's not just us, though. It's a Scottish football thing. But by God, why can't we be the one team that's ahead of the curve on that and actually give our young players a bit of talent? It's like we've seen Bailey Rice come on at Old Trafford, and honestly, he was the best player for me in that second half. And again, Man United are awful, right? I mean, they've just got lost against All-Stars, and they struggled past Hong Kong and shit like that. But you know, it's not just the United game. There's other games where Bailey Rice is looking good, but nah, it's a mess, folks. Need to sort it out. But yeah, big Purdy's in, and Koppen is out of here.